Hi everyone, this is Dr. Catherine Kelly. I hope you're having a wonderful day. And I wanted to bring you a little snapshot from what our discussion was last night in my monthly group that I call Soul Call. Now, the reason I call it Soul Call is that I believe that each and every one of us has that deep voice and gut reaction within us that tries to guide us through life, but oftentimes we don't listen, and so we get misaligned. Or stay misaligned for that matter, and then we don't feel good. We don't feel like our lives are radiant and smooth and that they're going where they need to go. But the topic that I brought up last night, the title was From Darwin to Dharma. Now, I'm not sure if those words have ever been used in a sentence before last night, but I wanted to kind of throw this out there. You know, when we think of Darwin, we think of evolution. When we think of Dharma, if you are familiar with the word, Dharma basically is that everything happens in divine order. So how do we put those in the same sentence? The way we do that is really think about, okay, how are we evolving? Where are we evolving to? And what is the divine order part of that? And thirdly, how are we playing a part in whether or not we follow that path? So because humans have free will, we can choose whether or not to follow our path or to detour off of our path. And think about all of the times in your life when you have not followed that gut reaction, and then somehow something got detoured in your life. Something did not go well. You know, life blew up in one way or another. And that's usually where we have regret, is when we don't follow our truth. So that's really the concept that I wanted to throw out there to get started. And the way that, you know, we basically are exploring this conversation and have been with clients, and I did last night, is the whole idea of self-love. So think about this for a second. Everybody on this planet, the main thing that they want is love or acceptance. If you think about everything that we do, it is basically to gain some sort of love or acceptance. Everything else can be whittled down to this. On the other hand, what do we lack the most for ourselves? It is self-love. So there's quite the dichotomy, quite the contrast, quite the opposites that's going on. We want love and acceptance, but we sure as heck don't do it for ourselves. And so what a conundrum. You know, it throws us off, it confuses us. But I want to challenge you to really think about how much you live through self-love versus trying to please, trying to gain acceptance, trying to create a sense of love from others. Because the thing is, you will never line up with your life if you're constantly looking to please the world. You have to line up with yourself. So one of the things that I said last night and seemed to have an impact is that we aren't here to find our purpose. We are here to find our truth. When we find our truth, we line up with ourselves. We find that way to align with ourselves for radiant living, which is the subtitle of basically my first book. I called it Aligning with Spirit for Radiant Living, but it's our spirit we have to align with, as well as what spirit, the grander spirit wants. So it's the whole idea of how do we align? Well, if every single person on this planet lived through self-love, we wouldn't have war. We wouldn't have all this stuff going on in the world right now. We wouldn't have neighbor issues or friend issues or family issues. We would all just love ourselves, which means there would be no need to hurt another person. So I want you to think about that, because that whole thing that we are missing the most in the equation of life is self-love. And I was bold enough to say that, you know, for those people who believe in reincarnation, that I now really believe that the reason we come back, the reason we reincarnate, is because we haven't figured out self-love. So think about that. Everything you might know about evolving through reincarnation is that we repeat, we get another chance, But it's because we haven't learned self-love. And it's really no different than us repeating the same pattern in this lifetime, that we keep hitting our head up against the wall doing the same thing. It's because we're not living out of self-love. We haven't learned the lesson about self-love that is embedded in whatever the situation is. So think about that, because self-love is the key. Self-love is the key to unlocking the universe, unlocking our growth, unlocking our potential, and basically freeing ourselves from all of those emotional human challenges that we create for ourselves. So I really want you to think about that, and I would love to hear what you have to say about it. You can obviously comment back on this video through Facebook or YouTube. It will be on YouTube as well. email me, whatever you'd like to do. But I'd love to hear what you're thinking about this, because I really believe the key is self-love. So I hope you ponder that. I hope you have a wonderful day. Go to my website at www.drkatherineTkelly.com for more information. You will also find the link to my both my Facebook page and also my YouTube page there. Would love to have you follow me. Have a great day.